This segment is sponsored by the Suriano Law Firm.
Okay, now we're going to get some professional advice from an attorney. This is Susan Suriano. She is representing the Suriano Law Firm, and today she is here to talk about legal custody issues some of you may be familiar with. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what are some of the reasons people would be having issues like this.
So when we talk about legal custody, we're talking about people who are third parties to this child, not the biological parents.
Okay.
And I see people all the time who, for whatever reason, are informally caring for a child. It could be a grandmother, aunt, uncle, and that's who's considered a third party.
Okay, so what happens if you are in that situation where suddenly you find yourself taking care of a child that is not your own? Do you have to get legal representation? What should you do in those instances?
So if somebody is going to care for a child for any kind of extended period of time, it's pretty necessary to have that legalized. And so you would petition a court for legal custody, and what that is going to do is it's going to allow you to enroll that child in school. It's going to allow you to make medical decisions for that child. If you don't have those things and you're just caring for this child informally, you're going to hit a lot of roadblocks. So it's very important to have that formalized.
Now, it's formalized, but is it finalized? I mean, in that case, are you the legal parent?
Yes,
okay.
You are. You're the legal custodian.
Okay.
And so a big question I get a lot is this a temporary order?
Right.
When you have grandparents caring for children, they don't necessarily want to have this idea of a final order.
Sure.
But you have temporary orders that can get issued during the process, but once that order is final, it's final.
Oh.
And the court does not want to see children ping-pong back and forth.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to petition a court for legal custody, you have to understand that you very well may have this child until that child emancipates.
Yeah, so there is really no way you turn that around. Say a mother or father was just incapable of taking care, or they're incarcerated or something like that. They'd have to petition. Can they get full custody, or is that rare?
So the difference between legal custody and, say, adoption is that in a legal custody situation, the parental rights are not severed.
Okay.
So what that means is if you have a parent, let's say, for example, who had an addiction issue, and now this parent has been sober, turned their life around, is in a place to be able to truly care for this child, they can petition a court and ask for custody. But both ways, when a third party is asking for legal custody, it's a high bar. When a parent is asking for custody back from a third party, it's a high bar. And so it's possible, but I would encourage people to seek legal counsel, because there's a lot of issues that you have to try to comply with, and there's a lot of statutory and case law things that you have to present to the court for that to happen.
Very complicated. Is it mostly the court making the decision on what they think is best for the child?
So when you are petitioning for legal custody, the very first issue is that you would have to show that the biological parent is unfit.
Okay.
And so if they're considered unfit or unsuitable, then the court is going to look at now if this third party, if that is in the best interest of the child.
Okay.
So the very first thing, though, is seeing if that biological parent at this point in time is unfit to parent. And that's a legal term, and
Sure.
there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that.
Yeah.
But that is step number one. Best interest of the child then is number two.
Well, takeaway is get legal help.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
It sounds very complicated, but it can be done.
It can be done, and it should be done in many situations.
Right. Okay. Good stuff to know. If you'd like more information too, go to Suriano Law Firm. That's SurianoLawFirm.com, or call them at 614-944-5773. We appreciate all of the information you just gave us, Susan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.